Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In today's video, we're going to talk about Kaido's interest in Wano and how it may involve Luffy. Wano is a very large country with many resources, which Kaido discovered and decided to take possession of so that he could build factories and facilitate his conquests and use everything as he wished. But with this possible and likely defeat, Kaido will no longer be able to extract any of these precious resources to fulfill his hidden goal, whatever that may be. So Kaido's dreams will be ruined. Furthermore, he told Yamato that there's something important in Wano that only he understood, and it may involve Luffy. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Kaido's possible plans, the reason why Kaido has been planning this grand scheme in Wano for so long, and what precious resources Kaido might be trying to get from that place. Before we dive into that, if you're new to the channel, we'd be absolutely honored if you consider leaving us a like, or even subscribing with a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really motivates us to make more content, and if you'd like to help us out in a bigger way, consider sharing the video or the channel with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Kaido has been shown to be a very greedy character because he has these big dreams and always seeks to expand his empire over the world. And Kaido's main goal, besides conquering the One Piece and obtaining it, is still hidden since he's never actually revealed it. There are two major possibilities for why Kaido is in Wano: taking away people's freedom and forcing them to do things that they don't want to do, and the ultimate reason is that possibly Kaido wants to rule the seas. But the question is, how important is Wano in that goal? Apparently, in order for him to accomplish this goal, it may be necessary for him to find or awaken a certain power that he's been waiting for so many years for, so that he could use it to dominate the seas and obtain the One Piece. Let's start talking about the first possibility of why Kaido is still in Wano. And it's that he's looking for a big power boost for his crew, starting with the big rare items that are in Wano, where Kaido would be after a very rare and powerful material. More recently, by teaming up with Big Mom, they decided to go after the One Piece together. However, this is not really Kaido's true goal, as he was expanding his control all over the seas. One proof of this is the Smile Factory in Punk Hazard. Kaido had ordered Caesar Clown and Doflamingo to create a fruit and combat equipment to make his pirates even more powerful. Of course, Kaido only has the title of King of the Beasts of the Beast Pirates because of Caesar, because he was responsible for creating so many Zoan-type devil fruits, so that all of Kaido's pirates had the ability, or at least the opportunity, to transform into an animal. With the various weapons that Doflamingo sold to Kaido and sold for Kaido, this further increased the combat strength of the Great Yonko pirates. And Kaido may still have other suppliers around the world that have not yet been shown or taken down by another crew. But the main place where Kaido's crew gets its strength from is Wano, because as we know, after Kaido and Orochi allied over the takeover of Wano, he created factories. Kaido then took away the freedom of the citizens of Wano to work compulsory in these factories in order to create combat equipment and weapons so that Kaido's troops would be well equipped and to earn more money in the black market. But so far, Kaido has not been able to achieve what he wanted most, which was to create several perfect swords. And because in the past, the blacksmiths of Wano had been able to create these incredibly powerful weapons and swords. Kaido, knowing this, may have actually gone to Wano to find more perfect weapons, because in Wano, there could exist a material that only a few know of, and this material would allow one to build swords and other combat equipment that resembles the supreme grade swords. And as we already know, these swords are the most powerful and resistant pieces of weaponry that exist in the world, and so far, only 4 of them have been shown to exist, but in all, there are 12. Of course, the former warlord Mihawk possesses the Yoru, which was seen in the Battle of Marineford, and this sword is very powerful and able to cut through even a huge iceberg with great ease. And not only that, Mihawk was even able to cut through the battlefield just to calculate the power distance between him and Whitebeard. Whitebeard also possessed one of the 12 supreme grade swords as well, possessing the Murakumoragiri, a large Naginata blade that possesses great destruction and strength all in of itself. But when Whitebeard combined his sword with the Goro no Mi, it demonstrated a even larger potential for just catastrophic destruction. The 2 other swords that have been introduced in this category, of course, were Ace, which belonged to the former pirate king Goldie Roger, and which is currently unknown of where it actually is, and of course the Shodai Kitetsu, that is also shown to be in an unknown location. So although they're mentioned, Ace and the Shodai Kitetsu are swords that really haven't been revealed in their real potentials. But because they're part of the most 12 powerful swords, we can deduce that they are just as well well, very strong in combat. Below the supreme grade swords, there are of course the great grade swords, and most of them were created by the blacksmiths of Wano. So this might be why Kaido was so interested in the history of this country, because even though the great grade swords are considered one power level less than the supreme grade, they are just nearly as powerful, so it would still be a major upgrade to anyone who possessed one. There's even been a possibility to discuss that these swords, these great grade swords, could evolve into even higher level swords, possibly becoming one of the most powerful in the world. So for instance, if one were to turn their sword into a black blade, that would immediately raise it up into a much higher rank. And because we just talked about the great grade swords, let's discuss a few of them that are just in our current Wano story and or have come through Wano. So we have the Nidai Katetsu, which currently belongs to Tengu Yama Hitetsu. The Shusui, which used to belong to Zoro but was returned to Wano because it was such a precious national artifact. We have the Abe no Hibikiri, which is in Momonosuke's possession. And finally, we have also the Wado Ichimonji and Enma, which are in Zoro's possession. And all of these swords have proven to be extremely powerful, even though they're just in this great grade tier. But even as they're going, we've seen that Enma is a special grade, and as it's able to grow and build its bond with Zoro, we could see this evolve into a black blade or even a more powerful sword than that. When Zoro was just learning how to use this sword, it proved to possess an immense cutting power, where it just lopped off the end of a canyon with great ease, proving that if Zoro trains hard and bends this sword to his will, it could easily evolve to a much higher degree. So this may be the reason that Kaido is after this material that the blacksmiths of Wano use when making these most powerful swords in the world, so that his crew could use it during combat and so that they could easily defeat any opponent that they come up against. But for this to happen, it was necessary for Kaido to find the place where these resources existed. And not knowing the location, he then created several factories, all in different places, so that they could dig and find these very materials. Just think about if Kaido were able to give pirates, even his lead members, powerful swords similar to that of Enma's or even greater, such as the Yoru. This would pretty much make his crew not only stronger, but nearly unbeatable. Another possibility is that maybe Kaido is hoping that Yamato could awaken a great power that exists in Wano, because we know that Yamato managed to obtain the fruit of the Wano wolf protector or wolf deity, and it's said that this deity has always been protecting Wano. But although we've seen that Yamato's power is great, it may not reach the heights yet of Luffy or Kaido's. But perhaps Yamato's fruit is the key to something that Kaido wanted beyond just the wolf fruit, something that might be possible with that fruit. Since Yamato was very young, she suffered because Kaido always wanted to make her stronger, and always gave Yamato more and more challenges and fights, like the time he locked Yamato in a cave together with Wano's swordsman. We saw that Kaido brutally let Yamato starve with the other swordsmen so that Yamato would become stronger and stronger. But Yamato's insistence in wanting to become Odin ended up hindering Kaido's plans. But there's still the possibility that Yamato could awaken the power of the fruit, or for some other purposes awake something that lies sleeping in Wano. Because currently there's still a dangerous load of enemies that are gonna appear in Wano, including the Marines. So even if Kaido is defeated, there's more trouble coming. And with these Navy ships, we could also see admirals, because we saw a few chapters earlier, Kizaru had offered to go to Wano. So there could be Kizaru or some other admiral heading towards Wano, getting ready to get these pirates arrested. So because Yamato possesses the fruit of Wano's protective deity, this might mean that Yamato gets to have her moment and she's destined to save Wano in some other way. And this could also be related to Joy Boy, who was already predestined to go to Wano. With Kaido's defeat in Wano, there's going to be nobody left in charge and kind of a power vacuum. And even if Momonosuke is the rightful heir to the throne, and even if the people of Wano recognize it, the Navy leaders are going to see an opportunity to make Wano part of the world government. So it could be that Yamato is going to fight the sailors off so that they can't take control of the country of Wano. And with the arrival of an admiral in Wano, it could make this even a greater difficult task for Yamato to keep Wano safe. But again, we also have to remember that Yamato's fruit is not yet at its maximum power, and we may not have even seen its complete use. So Yamato may still have some things left that may come to a purpose for future events. After all, this is a divine and mythical Zoan fruit. Adding on what we've heard the Gorosei mention, Zoan fruits have a will of their own. So because this is a powerful fruit and that of a deity and a protector, it could be that Yamato's fruit has a great goal of protecting something important in Wano. So if Yamato's able to awaken her fruit, Kaido would be able to make the fruit's strengths increase even more by getting something that exists in Wano. However, this is not Yamato's will. After the Yonko is defeated, it's really likely that Yamato may go to sea with Luffy and get into that adventure that they have always dreamed of. And once she leaves Wano, Yamato would not be the protective deity of Wano and would rather protect her friends. But this could also go further, because after all, now that Joy Boy is finally in Wano, after this long wait, Kaido's fate really could change. Kaido could actually reveal what really happened and what he really knows about Joy Boy, and what really exists in Wano and what made him go there and stay there for so long in the first place. And in that way, Luffy would be able to find out what really happened and what Joy Boy was truly after. We've seen in several times that Joy Boy had a great connection with Wano. This legendary unbreakable stones, these poneglyphs that were written there in Wano and then distributed probably by Joy Boy. So there's no other way that Joy Boy could have spread his word through the poneglyphs were it not for the craftsmen in Wano. And we even saw that Odin knew something, and so apparently does Kaido. And so all finally might be revealed to Luffy once Kaido acknowledges who he is and who he's becoming. And this then further connects Luffy with Joy Boy and Wano as well. But for now, I'd love to know what you think about it. What do you think the goal was when Kaido went there? Or do you think he was there because he was waiting on Joy Boy? Let us know in the comments below. So as we wrap up this video, I want to thank you so much for watching all the way to the very end. Make sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like as you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.